Hello and welcome to my dining room, which is substituting for the putting green at Newcastle Golf Club. Hope everybody's safe and well, you're not getting cabin fever, or whatever the saying is, and that you're managing to keep busy. In this video I'm going to give you a few tips on the tricky subject of putting and how to practice safely indoors. Not the most exciting stroke, putting in golf, but definitely one that saves you the most shots in your round. Now I must stress safety. We're indoors and we're just putting, but in every video I'll be stressing safety at all times. You're hitting a projectile with a metal club and everything should just be attempted when it's safe to do so. Now I'm going to be using a putting mat today, so I'm cheating. If you don't have a putting mat, you can still practice on the carpet. But really, you don't want the carpet to be too fluffy. You want it to be sort of hard wearing or low pile, just a bit of information for parents there. But you'll soon find out if the ball rolls true or not. Now the reason I'm using a putting mat really is, apart from the fact it's a wooden floor, is it's easier to explain certain principles that are true for putting, but also true for many other shots in golf. And they'll keep coming up over and over again. Now, I'm not going to say too much about the grip. There are many grips in putting. I use what's called a reverse overlap grip. So, because I've got quite a square handle on my putter, I put the putter through my fingers just like I would normally, but the thumbs go down the front. Then I put my other hand on, the thumb going into the pad as usual, but rather than interlocking or overlapping the fingers, I take the index finger off my left hand and put it down outside my fingers with my right hand. This is called a reverse overlap grip. There are many others. You can also have the pencil grip, where you're holding the club as if it was a pen or a pencil in the right hand. I know many people that use this with great success. You can have the cross hand grip. I'm always saying to the kids in school, don't have your target hand under the other one, but in this case for putting, and only for putting, it's okay. You can have the claw grip where it goes through the fingers like that. I find that very awkward. You can also get putters, you see them professional golfers in the telly still using the big broom handle, so it's very much a personal one. For these lessons I'm going to be using the reverse overlap grip. Now I said I wanted to use a putting mat to show some principles that are the same for putting and other shots. The first one is identify your ball to target line. Easy for a putt because it's only 6 feet away, and easy for me because I've got a mat that's got markings on it, but if it was on the putting green you want to identify your ball to target line, and you want to identify somewhere on that line, maybe 30 to 60 centimetres in front. You're coming to the side and then you're getting your club square. This is the second principle. Get your club square behind the ball. I'll show you examples. Here the ball to target line is represented by the alignment rod. The putter has a square face pointing down the line. The putter now has an open face pointing to the right. And now the putter has a closed face pointing to the left. And then the next thing is, once you've got your ball square, your club square rather, you want to get your body aligned parallel left. So this is easy because I can have my feet set up to the edge of the mat. Now, what do I mean by parallel left? How do you explain that to a youngster? Well, I've identified my ball to target line. It's easy on the mat, but even if you don't have the mat, you have the ball to target line there, and you want your feet and your body aligned parallel left. So if I put that there, these two alignment rods are now parallel. And you can say to a kid, they're like train tracks. One line of the track is the ball to target line, the other line of the track is where your feet are aiming. And they never come together or never go further apart, just like a train track. As you probably saw in the main video if you've watched it, where I try and get my feet for a full swing shoulder width. So I've marked a club, or in this case the alignment rod, with tape for shoulder width. Also the middle for ball position. Now these are only reference points. If I put this down, I don't think I want to be standing this wide for a putt. So I can come in though and have, for example, the outside of my feet with the marks on the rod. I can have the ball in the middle, or I can experiment with that. I can put the ball slightly ahead of middle. So the alignment rod that is used to help you keep parallel left can also be used for width to stance and ball position. Now I'm going to try and put that into practice. I've put a red Lego brick in the middle of the hole just to make it easier for you to see. Now you would want a practice swing. You can either take your practice swing first just to see how hard you're going to hit the ball, and then come and look, get the ball to target line, identify the piece of ground on the ball to target line, come to the side, get my club square on the ball to target line, and then get my stance parallel left, and I'm taking the shot. Now when you're set up ready to hit your shot, you don't want to be lots of movement in the body, you just want to be rocking these shoulders, keeping the wrists straight. A good way of doing this, when nobody's watching, is to put a ball, here I've got a softball here, between my knees, and just try and concentrate on rocking the shoulders. And this cuts out lower body movement, so I'll just try this. I've got my ball to target line because I'm using a mark. Now we want to make sure that we're hitting, we've got the club face square behind the ball, but we want to make sure that we're hitting the ball in the middle of the club face. So here I'm going to use a couple of elastic bands, as every golfer should. As you can probably see, I'm going to set them up so that I strike the ball with the middle of the club face. If I hit it with the elastic bands, it will just make a dull sound, the ball won't travel. So here we go. Now if you're practicing on a carpet, you've not got all these fancy lines here to assist you. So what you may want to do is you say, well, where's the mark I'm aiming for on my ball to target line? But you can use anything. Here at 60 centimetres I've put a couple of bricks down, and I want to make sure I get through these bricks. I'll just make sure that's okay. Come to the side, club square, get my stance. That's quite good. I've not hit it hard enough. Really, I want to be hitting the tool each time if this was a hole, just to get it that wee bit past. Here's another game you can play to try and practice your distance control. With the putt, as I said, you want to be using your shoulders, and you want to control the length of the putt by the amount of backswing and forward swing. You want this roughly to be the same. It will usually be slightly more through. Remember, slow back and faster through. What you don't want is fast back and then decelerate, because you'll lose all control of the ball that way. So here I am at 5 feet. I've got a green block here because I'm pretending I don't have a practice mat. I'm just using a bit of carpet. 5 feet, 150 centimetres. Okay. I'm then going down 4 feet, 120 centimetres, just to try and keep it varied. The other thing that I've not mentioned when I was mentioning the grip is you want to be really light with the grip. You don't want to strangle the club. If you're nice and light, that's where the pencil grip's probably good because you can't hold it tight. But here, I'm going to take my practice swing, keep my feet, get set up, and then nice and light. That's the first time I've hit with that grip. But you can all go all the way down to 2 feet or 60 centimetres. We all miss these putts, and it's because we don't practice them. So there you can practice different distances. You can also have it going down the tunnel where to see how far you can get without hitting the sides. You can start off quite easy. Remember, every time I've done my ball to target line, run to the side, got my ball square, get my stance. So you can vary the games up a bit. What I would say is, you don't want to do this for too long. You could be playing against somebody else, always make sure that the person's out of the way when you're doing that. But if you're practicing on your own, I would say 15 minutes a day, unless you want to do more. But if you do 15 minutes a day, that's better than doing an hour a week or an hour every 4 days. It's better if you just do a wee bit at a time, and I'm sure by the time we're back on the golf course, your putting will be A1. And now a summary of what we've covered today. First of all, we want to be safe. Only play when it's safe to do so and have a look around. Then we want to Google putting grips for claw, reverse overlap, pencil, etc. Then you want to get your principles and identify your ball to target line and the mark 30 to 60 centimetres on that line. And get your club face square, not open or closed. And lastly, stand parallel left. Remember the train track principle. And that only leaves for me to say good luck, and hopefully I'll be back with another video next week.